In the remote Cerrejón region of Colombia, deep inside a coal mine, a team of scientists and paleontologists was digging through layers of the earth. But this wasn't just any ordinary mine. This coal had formed from a 60-million-year-old rainforest, a lost world buried beneath the ground. A world filled with ancient plants, mysterious creatures, and secrets no one had ever seen before. While excavating deep into the rock layers, the team discovered something strange. At first, it didn't look special. Just a piece of bone. Some thought it belonged to a crocodile. Others believed it was part of a turtle. A few even guessed it might be fossilized wood. But that single bone would soon lead scientists to one of the most shocking discoveries in history. A creature so massive, it would redefine everything we knew about snakes. Titanoboa. This wasn't just a snake. It was a monster of nature. Bigger than anything alive today. Longer than a passenger bus. Heavier than a car. And nearly 10 times heavier than today's green anaconda. But here's the real question. If it was that huge, where did it live? Because a snake this heavy couldn't even survive on land. This discovery didn't happen overnight. It all began in 1994, when a local geologist, Henry Garcia, noticed something unusual in the mine. At the time, it looked like a piece of wood, nothing important. So it was stored away, forgotten. Years later, in 2002, another geologist, Fabiani Herrera, found a similar fossil. Still, no one realized its true importance. Until 2007, when these fossils were sent to the Florida Museum of Natural History. That's when everything changed. Scientists compared the bone to modern snakes like anacondas and pythons. And what they found was unbelievable. The bone was 3 times larger than that of an anaconda. That's when they realized, this wasn't just any snake. This was something the world had never seen before. Using mathematical models, scientists estimated its size. The result, 42 to 50 feet long. Weighing over 1,200 kilograms. That's more than a ton. No land snake today can even come close. This discovery shocked the entire scientific community. But the biggest mystery wasn't its size. It was, why was it so big? The answer lies in climate. Snakes are cold-blooded animals. They depend on external heat to survive. And 60 million years ago, the Earth was much hotter than today. Temperatures stayed above 32 degrees Celsius year-round. That extreme heat boosted their metabolism, allowing them to grow larger, faster, stronger. In fact, today's Amazon rainforest might actually be too cold for Titanoboa to survive. But how did it hunt? Surely a snake this massive couldn't chase prey on land. And it didn't. Titanoboa was an aquatic ambush predator. Just like modern crocodiles, it spent most of its time in swampy waters, floating silently, hidden beneath the surface, only its eyes and nostrils visible, waiting, watching, and then, in a split second, it would strike, with crushing force. Scientists estimate its grip could exert over 400 psi pressure. Enough to crush bones instantly. Its prey, giant turtles, ancient crocodiles, creatures that were terrifying themselves. Yet for Titanoboa, they were just food. For years, scientists only had vertebrae bones. But in 2011, everything changed again. A rare skull fossil was discovered. This confirmed that Titanoboa could dislocate its jaws, just like modern snakes, allowing it to swallow prey 3 times the size of its head. It had heat-sensing organs, meaning it could hunt even in complete darkness. But despite being the king of its world, Titanoboa didn't survive. Why? Because the world changed. As millions of years passed, Earth began to cool. Even a small drop in temperature was deadly for a cold-blooded giant. Its metabolism slowed down. It became weaker, slower, less effective at hunting. At the same time, swamps began to disappear. Forests changed. New animals evolved. Mammals spread rapidly, and competition increased. Slowly, the king of snakes lost everything. Its habitat, its prey, its advantage, and eventually, it vanished. All it took was a few degrees of cooling to wipe out the largest snake the world has ever seen. Clapperboard outro. If you enjoyed this incredible journey into Earth's past, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more mind-blowing mysteries. Because the past still has secrets waiting to be discovered. But what if Titanoboa wasn't the only giant of its time? What if the world it lived in was filled with creatures just as terrifying? Because the truth is, 60 million years ago, the forests of South America were nothing like today. This was a world of extremes. Massive plants, dense jungles, endless swamps, and creatures that pushed the limits of evolution. Some scientists believe that Titanoboa wasn't just surviving in this environment. It was dominating it, at the top of the food chain. A true apex predator. But even kings have rivals. In those ancient waters lived giant crocodile-like reptiles. Stronger jaws, armored bodies, deadly instincts. A single mistake could turn the hunter into the hunted. Imagine this. A quiet swamp. The surface of the water, completely still. A giant turtle slowly approaches the edge to drink. Hidden beneath the dark water, Titanoboa waits. But suddenly, a massive crocodile lunges from the opposite side. Now it's not just a hunt. It's a battle. A clash between two prehistoric giants. Who wins? No one knows for sure. But fossil evidence suggests that Titanoboa often had the upper hand. Its strength, its size, its crushing power, made it nearly unstoppable. But here's where things get even more interesting. Scientists didn't just study its bones to understand its size. They used them to reconstruct its entire world. By analyzing the fossils found alongside Titanoboa, plants, pollen, ancient soil, they discovered something incredible. The rainforest back then was far denser and hotter than anything we see today. Trees grew taller, leaves were larger, and oxygen levels may have been different. This created the perfect environment for giants to evolve. Not just snakes, but insects, reptiles, and even early mammals. Everything was bigger, stronger, more intense. But such extreme environments come with a cost. They are fragile, highly sensitive to change, and when the climate began to shift, everything started to collapse. Rainfall patterns changed, swamps began to dry, food chains were disrupted, and slowly, the giants began to disappear. Titanoboa tried to survive. It adapted as long as it could. But evolution has its limits. Its massive body, once its greatest strength, became its biggest weakness. It needed heat, it needed water, it needed abundance, and when those disappeared, so did Titanoboa. Today, all that remains are fossils. Fragments of a forgotten world. Silent evidence of a time when nature experimented with extremes. A time when the earth itself was different. But here's a chilling thought. What if conditions like that returned? What if the planet became warmer again? Could creatures like Titanoboa evolve once more? Could giants walk, or slither, the earth again? Scientists say it's unlikely, but not impossible, because evolution never truly stops. It only waits for the right conditions. And maybe, somewhere deep in unexplored jungles, or hidden beneath untouched swamps, nature is already preparing its next giant. Clapperboard outro hook, stronger retention. So next time you look at a snake, remember, you're looking at a distant relative of the largest predator to ever crawl the earth. And who knows, the next titan might just be waiting. Snake fire.